Breaking news out of Florida. Local man found shitting on a possum during rush hour.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as an old enemy. Take your time, hurry up, the choice is yours, don't be late. Take a rest, as a friend, as an old memory. Come doused in mud, soaked in bleach, as I want you to be, as a trend, as a friend, as an old.
So what was that about a dead possum and some shit on I-4?
Why is the running theme of the show turning into feces? That's what I want to know. Oh my God. Welcome, you guys, to Wine and Witchcraft. Oh my goodness. Okay, Catherine Jade, hello. First time catching live.
Woo! Cherry pop! Cherry pop!
Cherry popped. Welcome to the live. You have commented before on the episodes. I'm so glad. We're so glad. Everybody in the chat, welcome Catherine to her first live. Yay! Ah! We're so sorry you have to be objected to this. We don't know what is going to happen.
Brace yourselves.
Brace yourself. Okay, let's take a look and see who is in the chat. We have Blackbird Virgo. Owlvine is here. We have Debbie Denaway. We have Julie. We have Hugo 8-Track, Whitney, Dreamtime Tarot, Maple, Birch, and Ivy. That is formerly Ivy's Grove. Mr. T, Word Witch. Who else is here? Obviously, Honey Paw, Kayla Marie, and Catherine Jade is here for her first time. Hello, beautifuls. Hello, hello. Tonight is Broomsticks and Bullshit. So this is kind of a free chat that Brittany and I do every other episode to kind of just let you guys run the show and whatever you guys want to talk about.
Sloppy and messy and have an excuse.
Correct. This is our reasoning, okay, to get ridiculous tonight. Now, before we get started and talk about what we're drinking, Brittany and I wanted to say thank you guys so much. We've posted a couple polls recently, and we had like on one almost 70 of you guys respond. You guys are loving the polls, so we appreciate that so much. Okay, getting started. Brittany, what are you drinking this evening?
Well, I mean, I am drinking a Wine and Witchcraft favorite. So if you live in Florida, I highly suggest you go to a local winery called Lake Ridge. It is in Claremont, Florida. And this is the Lake Ridge Southern White. And let me tell you guys, this shit tastes like grape juice. It's very
It is the best.
It does not taste like wine, but it acts like wine. So Southern White is Justin and I's favorite. I poured it for him one time when he came over my house. I was like, just try this. He's like, okay. And he's like, oh my God, this is like grape juice. I'm like, I know.
It is so good.
Hidden secret.
I'm drinking another tried and true here at Wine Witchcraft.
Owl, winking owl.
Let me do the Brittany. You'd have to be a longtime fan to get that reference, but the winking owl tonight, I'm drinking Chardonnay and this glass is already almost empty. We were chatting in the green room, so I've already had a glass and I have another glass poured. So this is bound to be a messy evening for sure. But I haven't drank a Chardonnay in a while and I was feeling, I wanted something a little different.
A little fancy. Yeah, so my outfit here is inspired by me not being able to close my mouth. But look, the zipper's coming off today, honey. We're going to get a little sloppy.
We are.
So, in the show over the past 4 years, every now and then I say something that gets me into trouble, some dramatic whatever. And, there was one point where I saw this shirt. I think it was actually Temu. I'm not going to lie. I think it was Temu. And I'm like, oh my God, that shirt is so me. The girl who can't fucking zipper her goddamn mouth. So I had to buy it. We're doing the whole black and red inspired kind of groove tonight. Yeah, the zipper has been off. Yes, honey.
It has been off, honey. I broke out the old Basic Witch sweatshirt that I haven't worn in a while. I was like, oh, I haven't worn that. Let's wear the Basic Witch bitch sweatshirt this evening. I have been looking forward to this all week. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to get drunk and have some fun.
It's been a long time. Speaking of that, let me fill my glass.
Yes,
the weird thing is it's been a long time since I can actually qualify myself as like been drunk. It's been a long time. So I don't usually get drunk anymore. Like I get feeling kind of happy, but that's as far as I usually go. That is true. Better winking owl than a winking asshole.
That depends on who you ask. Okay. Most dangerous kind of wine. Glad to be here. Well, welcome. Okay. So we did open the show tonight talking about a Florida man, and we're not going to talk about poop all night like we have the past, I feel like 2 or 3 shows. Somehow poop that's the theme of season 4 is poop.
Yeah. Just shit. Straight up shit.
But Brittany found a recent, like this week, there was a Florida man caught shitting on a dead possum during rush hour, and the police are investigating. So yeah, that's the looks like
this is the guy. This is the guy, okay? And I'll read you since you can't read it on camera, but it says, Florida man arrested after pooping on dead possum on street during rush hour, police say. Police said they found physical evidence at the scene. This is the shit we deal with as Floridians, and this is Fox 35 News Orlando. So we thought it was hysterical, because I even commented on the news story. I was like, excuse me, what? And then I snapshot it and I sent it to Justin. He's like, wait, what, come again? And so I was like, oh, we need to talk about that in the show. I mean, this is what we deal with. Men, I don't know if he's homeless or what the fuck he was, but Florida man is a thing. Like, it's always news stories. Florida man caught doing A, B, C, and D. This time it was shitting on a dead possum in the middle of the street during rush hour. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly, Owlvine. We're not going to talk about poop, but... But let's talk about it. Okay. So I wanted to talk about, I'm going to make a full video on this.
Okay.
But Aradia, the Witch of Dark Light, messaged me a couple weeks ago and said, hey, I want to send you some oils. Just try them out, see what you think, and let me know, the things, right? So I'm just going to show you what she gave me. I'm not going to tell you everything because I want to make a whole video about it. But she sent me a domination oil. She sent me the psychic oil. And then she also sent me the High John oil. And she also sent some incense of the gods. So now she did give me a warning, which I appreciated. This has Vesta powder in it. You remember Vesta powder? She was like, because I know you're bad with fire.
She should talk. She set her hair on fire.
Literally. And she's like, I'm just giving you the warning. I said, I'm glad you told me because I'm the type of witch that would literally take this whole tin and just dump it on just dump it on the charcoal disc and it does light up. So, but I'm going to be making, how should I, okay. So I'm going to be talking about the psychic oil. Brittany already knows this, and so does Owlvine because of our private chat. But I'm going to be talking about the psychic oil and a little bit about this book in an upcoming video.
I have that book.
You do. I bought it for you many moons ago.
Yeah. You did. Yeah, it's right here. I have it.
I have a lot to say.
I actually have to say, Justin, you know, you bought it for both of us, and you were kind of like, I'm not sure, like, But I have to say, I've cracked it open a lot more times than I thought I would. So I have to say that it does come in handy. It is a pretty damn good book.
Well, I have to say, like, I feel like, and again, I'm probably just in not the right circles, but I don't hear a lot about dream magic or messages through dreams, because sometimes I feel like people feel like it's a little foo-foo and it's not as like mystical.
Oh, trust me, after the dreams I've been having this month, which I'm not going to get into, but let me just say it ain't foo-foo.
It's not foo-foo. And you know the dreams I've had. It's right, not foo-foo.
And maybe that'd be a good topic for the 2024 season.
It could be dream magic. It's definitely a thing.
You know, we'll get someone on here. Before you continue, I just want to address this because I will forget if I drink anymore. Julie has asked me twice now in the chat, and I did reply to her. She messaged me somewhere. I think it was on Facebook. I can't remember, but I did reply. She might have not seen it. She asked how long hexes last.
Let's get into it.
So I'm just going to get into my personal opinion from experience and from circles of just witches and just being a witch for the past 15 years, what I've experienced. Hexes for me last as long as you either set them for, like say you create a hex and you put on your petition, 7 months. So you've set your span of time, right? Or you have in your chanting a time period, right? When you are creating that hex, you're also weaving in the time frame. There's that option. The other option is you can do limitless, but if the person receives the hex, knows there's a hex on them, they can break it. So until it's been broken by the receiver or someone in the receiver's party, or until you allow it to do its time, or until whatever you're hexing them for has been corrected. So I hope that answers your question. There's different options for that. You can either set a time. You can set it so once whatever you've been hexing them for has been released or changed or fixed, or until they have cut the cord themselves and reverse the hex or cut the hex or, vanquished it or whatever. So I hope that kind of gives an answer. That's just my personal experience. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. And I'm commenting as Traversing the Darkness in the chat because we did talk about this in an episode. And I love to hear your view on it, Brittany, because I find it very interesting to see how each practitioner kind of views that kind of magic. I think a hex is temporary. I don't know what the time frame would be, but there's definitely a difference between like a hex and a curse. I think a hex is like you said, it's within a time frame, and whenever that correction happens, or I don't know, I think if you're hexing someone and you continue to feed that hex, then that could last a little bit longer, but it's definitely different than a curse. A curse is more long acting than a hex would be. A hex is more of like, I feel like a hex is kind of like a punch, like you're throwing a couple punches at you're getting the physical altercation. And a curse is more like a stabbing or, shooting somebody with a gun. It has more long lasting effects. Right.
And I kind of feel like, that's why they have hex breaking, powders, incenses.
Right.
But I also kind of feel, in my experience, us witches, we use sage, we use palo, we use tons of different kinds of smudge sticks, whatever incense, whatever you use to cleanse with. I honestly feel as a witch, first of all, don't hex another witch. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. You'll end up with some more water thrown on you or some shit. Like just don't hex another witch because it's just a really bad idea. Unless you really, really, really have to for some weird reason. But, witches cleanse themselves in their home and their space all the time. And also witches put up wards all the fucking time.
Right.
So to waste your time on a hex with another witch, it's kind of like, Wouldn't you rather just talk it out or agree to disagree or just be like, hey, we ain't friends no more, best of wish luck to you? Like, I don't, it's not that I don't believe in hexing another witch. I just would rather people not do it. It's just a bad idea. But you got to remember also too, when like, you come in here and you start waving around cleansing and sound cleansing and stuff, you're going to start breaking a hex then too. So, I mean, it's just not a good idea. Don't do it.
I agree. And there's ways to check if you've been hexed. If you guys want to hear about that, we can talk a little bit about that for sure. But I just find it interesting to see people's perspectives, because you and I agree on so much, but we also practice so differently and we have different views on things. And that's what's so beautiful about being able to practice magic, right? Is we all have a different way of approaching it, different ways of how we see it, different rules apply to different people.
Right.
So,
Honey Paw says it's too much work to hex a witch. It really is, because the chances of your hex getting through to witch's house, a witch's personal life, even if it does get through, they're going to be able to break that shit probably within 24 hours. I'm telling you, I've been hexed before by another witch. I'm going to completely admit it. I have been, and I found out proof that it actually did happen. It wasn't just, me thinking I was hexed. She actually admitted it through another person. Anyway, point being, I have been hexed by another witch. And once I found out about it, I cut that shit. It was probably within a week. I mean, I cut it. So it's a waste. If you did not put a time frame on it, I'm going to tell you it's either going to wear out its time once whatever you hex the person for is been switched around and your hexing solved the problem, or that person's going to sense it and they're going to cut it. They're going to break the hex. So if you didn't put a time frame on it, it's going to work until one of those things happen. It's been broken, or whatever you hex for comes back around. Not in a bad way, but like it's fixed. You know what I mean?
Yes. So there's two ways. Dreamtime Tara is asking, how do you know if you've been hexed? So I think that there's Nina Bina. That's going to be what I call her. So there's two ways that I like to know. Number one is with tarot or oracle. So what I'll do is, and I do this actually a lot, if I feel some sort of weird energy from somebody, or I just want like an instant gratification, because of course that's what society is all about now, is instant gratification. Just being honest, like we all fall guilty to that, right? It's just the age we're in. We want the instant feeling of euphoria. Right. I like to pull cards. So what I'll do is I'll take a deck. I like to light a candle, sit, whether you're talking to your deity, your ancestors, spirit guides, whoever you speak with when you're going to do some divination like this. I like to have a card in mind. Typically for me, if I'm asking about hexing or I'm trying to find out if someone has ill will towards me, I typically ask for the diamond or the 9 of swords. I mean, not the diamonds. What am I talking about? I'm drunk already. The devil or the devil or the 9 of swords. And so essentially what I'll do is just ask to reveal those cards to me. And if I'll shuffle, and I just intuitively let it happen when I feel like it's ready, and I'll pull 3 cards. If one of those cards, 2 of those cards appear within that 3-card pool, then it may not necessarily be a hex. And that's the thing. We talked about it on the last episode. People can, I don't want to say necessarily hex you, but throw something negative towards you unknowingly. Maybe it's purposefully, you never know. So if one of those cards come up, then I know I need to do some cleansing. I need to do some protection. I'll probably do some hex breaking work. You can get a hex breaking candle, or spray. Domination oil is good. You can take a little chime candle or a 7-day candle, put some domination oil, dominate that hex. There's plenty of things you can do to get rid of that energy. So that's the first thing I like to do. The second thing is with the egg. You can rub an egg all over. You can crack an egg and put it in the water. A lot of people have different views on this. If I see blood or anything murky, I take that personally in my own view of it, that something's afoot. So those are my 2 that I go to. But I will say, if I feel or if I think that something's been thrown at me, there's a lot of times I don't even pull cards. I don't do the egg test. I just go straight to cleansing, protection, and breaking, and just cover my bases. If I'm innately getting that feeling, I just kind of go with it because, we're out in the world, right?
Well,
All
it's
the
not
time.
that we're out in the world. Us as content creators, whether it's Wine and Witchcraft hosts or we're on our own personal channels, as content creators, we're kind of in the public eye. So,
Yes,
we're more
we are.
susceptible than someone who's not a content creator. I've learned that from personal experience. Julie's like, honey, I hexed a politician. Well, what I have to say about that, since you didn't put a time frame on it, I'm going to say that your hex is going to work until it's broken by that politician stopping the fucking nonsense. Or, well, you know what I really would have done, honestly, in my personal opinion? I would have given a curse instead of a hex, because a hex is only going to last so long. I would have cursed that politician rather than hex that politician. But if you message me, we'll talk more. But I kind of feel this way too. It depends on also what that politician's, spiritual background is. Because, there aren't many politicians, at least out in the open, that say they're witches or of the occult. But I do believe, in saint work and stuff like that, even though I don't practice saint work, that if, they work with saints as Catholics or Christians, there's
power there.
They could break it there too.
Right.
So I would have done a curse instead of a hex, but it's going to last until it gets broken or wears out its time. It's kind of like, a shoe. Eventually shoes are going to get worn out and get holes in them, that kind of thing. So.
I agree. And I also like to layer my hex work.
Yeah.
You can do like a general hex working on somebody and then try to shift. You're going to do that working, right? You're going to manifest that. You're going to do your energy work. You're going to get all your stuff together. I like to do a general working on that. Like wherever this hex can manifest with this person. That's an excellent book, by the way.
Hold on. I'm trying to find it.
I like to do the general, and then I also like to follow that working up with a derivative. And what I mean by that is saying like, okay, I'm going to do a general hexing. Whatever the easiest flow is to affect this person, that's where I want this energy to go. Very general, not specific, right? Yes, Vanna. And then I also like to follow that up with something more specific. So that could be, hexing their car, just saying, hexing their financial health, hexing something within their spiritual health, something like that. So you're kind of coming at it from two different angles. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. So, Julie, if you don't already have this book, honey, get it. I promise you. I did not read the whole thing. This was a gift given to me by Owlvine for my birthday. We promised to read together, and I cheated, and I started reading the first 2 or 3 chapters, and I stopped. So I have not finished it, but I have to say for the first 2 or 3 chapters, it's very well written, and it's going to be a really good book. So I highly suggest
checking it out.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, hexing is definitely an art of its own. I just think it's good to have 2 rivers flowing when you're going to do working like that for sure. Yeah.
So I hope that helps, Julie. If you need some more, feel free to message me. We can chat. We can talk it up. We can do the things.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes, honey.
Let's talk. Okay. We did a recent poll on Facebook. Fuck. I forgot to pull the statistics. Okay, let's talk about the polling that we did recently. Okay.
We set a poll on Facebook and then we mirrored it on YouTube. But YouTube only allows a certain amount of answers, then Facebook allows it unlimited. So in retrospect, when I created the poll on Facebook, it was meant to have Etsy as a separate and then bigger box retailers online like Amazon separate. But, with YouTube, we kind of had to smush the 2 together. Now, poll results that I saw, Justin, you can reiterate if I'm incorrect, but Botanica
you talk about Facebook, I'll talk about YouTube.
Okay, so Botanica got 0. So I know that Botanicas are only really located in areas with high Spanish population. Kind of like around the outskirts of the United States. You have California has tons of Botanicas. I know Nevada has several. And then you get like Texas and all that kind of area around the Gulf has tons of botanicas. Florida is inundated with them because we have Puerto Rico. So, you know, we have a lot of botanicas. And when Justin and I discovered the world of botanicas like 3 years ago, we're like, I'm done with witchy shops. No, we're not really done with them, but you know what I mean? So Botanica is it's a witchy shop, but it's mostly specialized in a lot of brujeria and stuff like that. But they have the same stuff, a lot of the same stuff. I would say 85% of the same shit that your witchy shop does at half the price. So Botanica has got a 0. And I think that's mostly honestly due to the fact that people don't know about them, but also maybe because they don't have them in their area. Like if you go to Iowa, I guarantee you there's no Botanicas in Iowa. You know, so Botanica got 0. The other one that which really didn't really shock me, honestly. The other one that got a 0, not a 0, but it got like 11% or something like that was Dollar Tree. And we did an episode on Witchcraft on a Budget.
Yeah, 9% on YouTube out of 43 people voted. And the Botanica also got 0 on YouTube.
Yeah, so the Botanica doesn't surprise me because again, if you're not living on the outskirts of, you know, the states that border the outside of the United States, I understand that when there's not a really high brujeria Spanish population, I get it. But you know, I was really shocked at the Dollar Tree. I really was, and we did an episode with the Voniness about witchcraft on a budget. And I know people ate that up. People loved that episode. I love that episode.
That was such a fun episode.
Oh, it was so fun. And I think Vonnie was wasted, if I remember correctly, which was even more fun. But you know, she talked about being on a budget. She lives from the Dollar Tree in her witchcraft, and her witchcraft is beautiful. You know, the Instagram photos that she posts, the videos she does, you know, all from Dollar Tree and such. And you know, I have to say, as someone who has Dollar Trees within a 5-mile radius of my house, I don't even utilize as much as I probably should. Because the things at Dollar Tree, you have to walk in there with a mind of this could be this, or this I could use for this, or this I could turn into this. Because they're everyday mundane items, except for like 2 or 3 aisles. Like the candle aisle, that's all witchy. I'm sorry, it's fucking witchy as fuck. The canister aisle, the canning and jar aisle, oh, that's witchy as fuck. But all the other aisles, you kind of have to be in that space of this could be that, or I could use this for that kind of thing. But you could make your whole entire witchcraft practice off of Dollar Tree. You really fucking could. And honestly, with inflation, the prices of things these days, fuck Dollar Tree it up. So there's that one. But the biggest one was Etsy and Amazon. And I have to agree, because I voted on the poll too, and I voted Etsy. Because if I were to take everything out of this room, and I was talking to Justin in the green room about this, and this is 15 years worth of stuff I've collected, but if I were to put in piles of where it came from, I would have to say Amazon and Etsy would have the most stuff in the pile. I go to Etsy the most, and then of course a lot of my books and my tarot cards and my oracle cards are all from Amazon, but I would have to say Etsy is the winner in my witchcraft as well.
I would agree. You know, I was shocked at how low Dollar Tree scored on both the polls. I was honestly flabbergasted at that. Honey Paul was saying Botanicas have the nicest people working there. I missed the polls.
God, yes.
Okay, so I think not only the ability to go to a Botanica affects people shopping there. You know, they're not everywhere. They're not as vast as witchy shops are. I also just innately think there's maybe an uncomfortability because there is a lot of Christian influence in Botanicas, but I think Spanish people have done such a beautiful job at marrying those two together and not thinking about all the complex thoughts. It's just like, this is what we were raised on. We can deal with Jesus. We can deal with the saints. We can practice witchcraft. We can practice brujeria. We can do it all, right? Because all of that magic is readily available to us. And I have to say, you know, Brittany and I have had so many conversations about Botanicas because no place has ever made me feel as welcome as a Botanica. No witchy shop ever has made me feel like a
I agree.
Botanica. And we went to 2 in Orlando, and the one we went to, everybody is just so nice. What do you need? What are you trying to do?
That
You know,
was books, candles, and more.
yes, anything you need, like we're here for you. Like the mentality is just very different. And for me, I feel like the Botanica is less commercialized. And when we talk about witchcraft, we have to understand also that like the people that were practicing what we call witchcraft were marginalized people, like women, people of color. You know, they didn't have beautiful witchy shops. It's just about the work, right? And Botanica's, I'm just going to say it, they're not conventionally beautiful. You know, they don't have moss hanging from the ceilings and, you know, crystals stargazing and all this bullshit that really, honestly, not trying to be controversial, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a sales gimmick. And Brittany and I went to the Botanica, right? Brittany will remember this. We went to the Botanica and we looked at candles. We bought candles. We left there and went to the witchy store. I can't remember what the name of it was, the one we went to.
The witchy store we went to was, the Enchanted Gypsy or Gypsy Herbs or
Gypsy Herbs, something to that. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And the same, literally same manufacturer, same fucking candle was almost double the price.
Yeah. Yep. So when we went to Books, Candles, and More, it was what was called Books, Candles, and More Botanica was the name of it. And we walked in and, you know, I think part of the reason why a lot of us, and I know this is going to be, you know, a hot topic or whatever, but we're white folk. I don't speak Spanish. Well, I shouldn't say I don't speak Spanish at all. I speak very little, like the bare basics to basically if I got lost in, you know, Mexico or something, you know, the very bare basics. They look at us in one Botanica in Orlando and they go, oh, white people. And they don't even bother. This Books, Candles, and More, and I know there's one in Lakeland as well that Justin has frequented, that he has the same thing. They saw the white people. They did not care. They were like, hey, how you doing? If you need any help with anything, you need to translate anything, because they knew that a lot of stuff on the shelves was in Spanish, let us know. Like, they were very, like, welcoming. And even when I was over on the candle wall, which is by the register, she's like, are you finding what you're looking for? Do you need any help? Like, because they know that we're not fluent in Spanish. You know, you can tell us white folk walking in, you know. But they were, and I think what it comes from is the innate fact that they are reaching just past their culture. They're reaching other people of other races coming in and spending their money in a small business and helping them and wanting to be immersed in that. And I think that they see that and they're just welcoming open arms, you know, anything you need. And I have found that when I walk into a witchy shop, because we walked into that Books, Candles, and More, they were all about translating for us. Any Spanish we needed translating, any help we need explaining. Some of their herbs and some of their things are a little bit different. But when we walked into the hate to say this, white girl witchy store, they didn't even greet us.
Nope.
Nothing. You know, so Yayo Botanica, yes, I'm glad you brought up Yayo Botanica.
Fantastic.
She's based in New Jersey. That Botanica is in New Jersey. Yayo Botanica is a great online store, a great YouTube
resource
channel to watch. I'm subscribed to Yayo Botanica. I love her energy. She's always bringing it. She's another one who's welcoming of all cultures, all parts of the earth. Like, she doesn't care. She's like, come on in, you know? So I have to say, you know, with Botanicas, I think that they love the fact that they're spreading the love. And I think that that's very evident. You know, I'm not going to downgrade all witchy shops, okay? Because I guarantee you there are a lot of witchy shops out there that are very welcoming, that are just like Botanicas. I just haven't found one yet. My local one in Orlando, it's a whole other story. I'm not going to get into it, but I won't shop there anymore. So, you know, I'd rather shop at a Botanica, you know, or I'd rather support a small business on Etsy. Personally, you know, small businesses run our community. That's our bloodline, the small businesses that are handcrafted, you know, your witchiness is going into the products you're making, all your intuition, it's all going into those products that you're helping other people with their spiritual path. I mean, that's their bloodline, is those small businesses. So I would rather support a botanica or a small business over at least an Orlando witchy shop. I'm just going to put that out. It's not dogging all witchy shops, but the ones in Orlando, I would say no to. One thing that Nina brought up that I want to mention is witchy store will talk to you forever. I get hugs every time I go. Vegas has great shops. I've been to Vegas with Nina, and I've gone into some of her witchy shops, and there was one witchy shop we went into. They were like, hey, Nina, like they were talking to her. My husband was talking to the owner. So I have to say, with that being said, that's why I said Orlando, because I did go to witchy shop with Nina in Vegas, and they were super sweet. Like, they're asking where we're from, like, have a great trip while you're here, very welcoming, very, like, sweet, you know, talked about, you know, Boston and about Orlando and about all these things, and it was a great instant. So I'm not going to say all witchy shops are bad, because Nina's was where it was at. I have to agree.
Well, and, you know, when we went to the Botanica in Orlando, and when I went to the one in Lakeland, you know, they're like, okay, this is beautiful. It's beautiful working. Did you want to add it to our altar? Like, they don't, I've never had that experience. It's just like, it's a difference between like a big box retailer and something that's more homegrown. I just innately get the feeling that botanicas care about the magic and the people that are casting the magic. It just is, you know, and again, not every witchy shop, because I haven't been to everyone, but I just feel more at home in a botanica. And I will say it's also very interesting too. What I found really interesting, and I think someone touched on this in the chat, is a lot of witches shop online. And I don't know if that's because
not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. I don't know if it's availability. I think someone, okay, Honey Paw said, I don't think I'm witchy enough. And I have to say, okay, so I had an experience. Brittany and I both, Brittany was there for this. So we went to a witchy shop. It was the one we went to, but it was before they moved. And I just was grabbing things, you know, that were calling to me. Because sometimes I go shopping for magical supplies and I don't necessarily have something in mind. It's just if something catches my eye, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, you never know type thing. And, you know, it's like, don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Don't shop for magical supplies when you're feeling magical, because it's kind of just like, oh, yes. Oh, uh-huh. Yes, yeah, juniper berries.
I'm going to need that at some point.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Right. I haven't used juniper berries, but you never know type thing, you know. And I got to the register and she was like, I forget what she asked me, but she asked if I was doing a certain type of working. And I was just like, uh-huh.
I remember that. I remember.
You remember?
I was behind you and I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? And her name was Lavender. I was like,
yes.
Okay. Your name is Susan. Okay, calm down. But there is this feeling, because especially us as content creators online and people who watch content online, you know, our magical experience is almost in a bubble. Do you know what I mean? And it's not questioned by outside sources. So when you're in that environment and someone asks you something, it's kind of like, you know,
I do get that, like that whole vibe of being uncomfortable. And in a witchy shop should be like your supermarket. It should be like your norm, right? But you walk in and feel, even though you've been practicing for 35 years, let's just say, you walk in and feel out of place. But you walk intimidating and you get that, oh, this is my, you know, my Stop and Shop. You know what I mean? So it's
right.
You know, I completely understand that. So not to change the subject, but I know you asked Julia, you know, about her to explain the tradition of magic that she practices, because I know she said it in the chat. And for those people who are coming in, and, you know, Julie has been following our show for a while now. So it's a Russian folk magic. That is fucking interesting. Like, I want to know more. So Julie, let me ask you, are you from Russia? Are you Russian? Is that like why you follow Russian folk magic, or is it just something outside of your heritage that you just gravitate towards? I'm very interested to know, because I get interested in all different cultures and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I feel like there's always something to learn,
Russian
right?
folk
There's
magic
always...
just sounds very interesting to me. Like, I would love to know more about that, for sure. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments. You know how people start talking? They always talk amongst themselves. I'm like, well, what's the conversation topic that they're talking about?
I was wondering, but I'm high as hell. And I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to ask. Supposed to ask what? I'm drunk.
So I also want to address, just because I completely forgot to address this, Heather, I have not sent out your tapestry yet, but I did.
Okay, wow, Jesus, mother hell.
I did not forget. Life has been a little crazy. I did not forget you. I still have your address. It is still right here. It will be sent. I promise you. It's just, we're in the middle of building a house and moving, and it's just, things are a little crazy for me, but I just want to let you know that I didn't forget, and it's still here, and it's got your name on it with your address. I just want to address that. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Yes.
I didn't want you to think I forgot. I honestly, every time I just keep on not going to the post office, I keep on saying, oh my God, I got to let her know I still have it. I didn't forget. Just let her know that it is coming. I'm going to send it. It's just, it's taking me a little bit longer than usual because shit's a little crazy. But I didn't want you to think I forgot. I know she's saying, oh my God, I forgot about it. I didn't want, just in case you remembered, I didn't want you to think I forgot, because I didn't. It's right here with your address on it. I just have not gone to the post office. But I promise you, you will receive it. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with the post office. I apologize. But I did not forget about you. Okay, moving on.
Well, I have some Hecate workings over here. There's been some development. So I can't really talk fully because it'll be in a video. But I incorporated Hecate into some witchcraft. First time I've really done that. And it's going very, very well, actually. The flame is beautiful. It's working. Things are going. You know, I had said in my video, in whatever video, I don't even know, some video that I did, that, oh, when I did the witchy room redo or whatever the name of the video is, that I wasn't going to show her altar anymore. And in communication with her, she was like, you can show the altar. You just need to do better. And I was like,
do better at what?
Okay.
You didn't like her altar, is what you're telling me? She said your altar was a piece of shit?
She didn't like it before. She likes it now. So that was the issue. She was dissatisfied.
Is your altar still in front of the window? Did you move it?
I moved it. So her altar is now up here. There's some working space over here. And then I have the saints and stuff going on over here. And then I do have an addition that you can't really see, but a little tarot station that Owlvine and Brittany have seen. I'll have to post a picture of it in front of the window.
Now remembering. Okay.
Yeah. So she's happy and things are satisfied. Thank goodness. Yeah, it's been an interesting development. I don't know. You know, honestly, this psychic oil, I have too many oils and I'm intoxicated. This psychic oil is on another level. I don't know if it's the placebo effect or what's going on, but no, I love it.
I don't think magic oils have placebo effect. I don't think that's a thing, but good luck with that.
Honey, it's going well, actually.
You know, I just have to say, Nina, I am so sorry for the F1. I am so sorry, love, because I was there when they were setting that shit up and we were sitting there complaining about it. And that was the bare minimum of that shit. You guys know in Vegas right now, they're doing the F1 racing shit. Let me tell you, okay, I just have to talk about this for a minute because it's one of those things that gets under my skin. They have destroyed Las Vegas for some fucking race cars. Okay, when we went there, you couldn't see the Bellagio fountains because, oh no, there were grandstands in front of them. And now they have actually drained the fountain and pushed the grandstands into the fucking fountain. So you're getting rid of all the beautiful things that the Strip has to offer, right? Not to mention when we did use a cab, like I think we used a cab 2 or 3 times to get from point A to point B. We talked to some of the cabbies and they said the same thing. Like, this is destroying their livelihood because they won't be able to access the strip and take tourists where they need to go. And tourists don't want to go there when they can't even walk the strip because the F1 has destroyed the strip. I just feel so bad for Nina because I'm sorry, Las Vegas is absolutely fucking beautiful and they have fucking destroyed it. And now all the Las Vegans and Nevadians, whatever you want to call them, have to deal with race cars for what? So you're destroying some tourism, some of your economic value for some race cars for 3 days? Why? I'm waiting. I am waiting for one of those F1 cars to fly out of control and fucking hit a grandstand and kill people. Because I'm sorry. Why don't you put the F1 racing shit in the desert where Burning Man is, where it can't fucking hurt people? Just saying. Why Vegas? Why? Just had to say it.
And now you've said it.
Okay. I just had to support Nina on that because the F1 shit. It just pisses. Every time I watch it and I see all this F1 bullshit, shut the fuck up. Like, people, you don't need F1 in Vegas. You don't fucking need it. For what reason?
It's a $1 billion industry, multi-billion.
Even as they're driving the fucking race cars, they're like, ooh, the Luxor, ooh, Bellagio. No, motherfucker.
Honey, $1 billion, billions of dollars. Okay, I did want to ask, Owlvine, are you still in the chat? Owlvine,
what do we need Owlvine for? She's not only our best friend.
Nina, are you available December 30th?
Nina Bina,
Hadasina. I don't know what I'm singing, Nina.
She's present. She's here. She raises her hand. Hello.
So on December 30th, we're going to be doing a Friends episode, and we're going to be ringing in Friend Miss. We're going to be ringing in the new year here at Wine and Witchcraft with Owlvine and Nina. They don't know this
yet. We have not even asked her. We did to her what we did to Dana a long time ago. We just said, you're in, put her in the bucket, and didn't even ask her opinion.
She says she's here for the 30th. So there you go.
Okay. She's in the bucket. Okay.
So December 30th, we are going to have a fun, gay, old, lesbian, straight time here on Wine and Witchcraft. We are going to be doing a Friends something. Friends
so
welcoming.
It's going to be the 4 of us having a shit ball of a time here live on Wine and Witchcraft. The last episode of December. I'll probably be in my new house by then, I think. I'm 90% sure. So it's going to be fun. We didn't tell you guys about it. Sorry, you're being called out on air. That's how we do. You get entrapped. December 30th, right? Yeah, December 30th.
Yeah.
Jizzy's on tour. We always have her on when Jizzy's not home. So make sure that Jizzy sets up your shit before you leave.
Before you go.
If not, you'll be lost. So,
and then we already have a guest for January. So I'm not going to say who the guest is quite yet, but we're going to be. Do you want me to reveal the topic, or?
You can, but don't tell the guest.
Okay, so we're going to be doing in January. We're going to be doing a topic show on magical record keeping. We're going to be talking about grimoires. We're going to be talking about books of shadows, historical references. We're going to go
all. And how shitty we are keeping them. Yes.
Correct. Why it's important. Why we don't care. Why maybe we should care.
We've never had before.
Correct.
And then February is Ivy still here? Or she's Birch, Ivy, and no, she's what is she now? Maple, Ivy. Maple,
Birch and Ivy.
If she's still here, we're gonna trap her ass too, because I know she wanted to be a Wine and Witchcraft last season, but we didn't have a spot for her, but we do now.
Yes,
so
if she's interested.
If she's still here, Miss Ivy's used to be Ivy's Grove, who's now Maple, Birch, and Ivy. We're gonna trap your ass too for February. So
Yes.
there you go.
We have a
Yes,
plan.
Maple, Birch, and Ivy sit here. Well, girl, Kelly, you have been entrapped
You
in the
have
Wine
been.
Witchcraft entrapment.
It is the entrapment. We have
It
a
is
plan
the
for
entrapment.
February. So we'll be reaching out to you and somebody else.
And someone else,
about-
you're gonna be part of a foursome.
Yes, here at Wine Witchcraft. An episode we've been trying to plan for a while. And we've decided to move forward with that.
You know, Ivy asked us, well, Kelly is her name, but she asked us last season, and I have her on the list, and I'm like, we're planned out so far in advance. I don't have a spot for her for the show we want to do with her. So I'm like, she can't be in season 3. She's going to have to be in season 4. Well, planning out season 4, we have the slot, and we're like, okay, so we're not even going to bother asking you via email. We're asking you now, bitch. You're going to be in February, so get ready. So there's that. So we're booked out until February at this point.
Correct. A foursome. Does YouTube allow those? Only here on Wine and Witchcraft. So yes, we're just trying to plan ahead. You know, season 4, we've been on for 4 years, and we had like 40 something people here.
That's why we're doing foursomes.
Foursomes for 4 seasons. And then we are still doing the demon panel on December 2nd, which is Rachel's birthday. We're nailing down some. We are nailing down some details. It was like a burp or something coming up. We're nailing down some details on that. So that's super exciting. We also are on the search. We have a couple things in mind, possible things in the works. Yes. But did you want to take the helm on this since you handle this aspect of the show?
Yes. So as you guys know, in the past, we have had sponsorships. We've had 2 or 3 of them in the past, Etsy shops and whatnot, because we talked about, this is the reason why I put the poll out. I want to see where everybody kind of got their supplies and whatnot. We love to support small businesses. I'm just going to put it out there. We really believe in community, as you guys know, and we really support the small businesses, because I know what it's like to be a small business owner. I've tried my hands on it, and it is tough without that community support. So we, have a sponsorship open. Basically, how a sponsorship works is, for a segment of our show, we talk about a product of the shop that is sponsoring us. We talk about it in detail, about how it works, what it has done for us, all the things, good and bad, usually good. And then we provide a 5 to 15 to 20% discount code, whatever the shop wants to offer, for our patrons. And it's usually a 12-month thing. Is every single month we try a new product and we talk about it, and then we give you guys a code to go shop at some Etsy shop or some small business, witchy small business for you to support. So it's kind of a give and take thing where we expose you for all that you are, and you in return give a little exposure. We expose you, and in return, you word of mouth or whatever, talk about Wine and Witchcraft. Hey, I sponsor Wine and Witchcraft. Check it out. It's kind of a give and take relationship. And that's a 12-month thing. And, it can be anything from an Etsy shop to a tarot reading business, any kind of occult or witch. It doesn't have to be an Etsy shop, or it can be an Etsy tarot reading business, or whatever you got going on, even if it's an online.com, whatever it may be. If you have a business of some sort in witchcraft or occult that you would like exposure and like to sponsor our show in return for us gabbing on about how awesome you are every single month and sending patrons to your shop, that's basically what a sponsorship is with Wine and Witchcraft. So if you know anybody who would like to sponsor the show and have that give and take relationship and expose the community and kind of get that going, reach out to us. Let us know. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a physical product. It can be something you offer, like a service, tarot oracle readings, whatever it may be. We're open to a 12-month sponsorship with anybody who reaches out to us, and we'll talk about the details and so on and so forth. So I just want to put that out, and what that is that you might have seen on our Facebook or on our YouTube, but what that's all about. We just want to help small businesses in the community in that way by having that partnership.
Yeah, so if you have, I did put our email in the chat. I'm not put that user in timeout. Hold on.
You put a user in timeout?
No, I want to pin our
Oh.
email. Okay, real quick, if you have a favorite Etsy shop that you would like to see get more exposure, maybe it's your Etsy shop, a friend's Etsy shop, or whatever, and you think they would be interested, you can shoot us an email at thewineandwitchcraft.com, thewineandwitchcraft@gmail.com. So sorry about that. And we can reach out to them. We're going to pin the email up there. You can send us an email and we will get in touch with the shop owner. It really is about connecting with these small businesses, giving them exposure. And whether it's 12 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, we would love to do that. So if you type in the name of whoever the owner is or whatever, you can put it in the chat here, or you can send us an email and we'll reach out for that.
And I just wanted to bring this up during a live show because of the fact that I have reached out to a couple of Etsy shops that I really, really adore. And, it's 2023. The world is shit. And the internet is full of scam artists, fakeries, people stealing people's identity, all sorts of weird ass shit, right? And when you get a message from a stranger saying, hey, would you like to sponsor us? They kind of think it's a scam or it's another one of those fake messages, and it's not. It's literally a good community show trying to help out small businesses. And I've had a couple Etsy shops, respond or not respond. The last one I had responded with just 2 periods. That's it. She wrote back two dots. And the reason why she did that was to keep her response rate up on her shop. All she had to write was I wasn't interested. But I think she thought that we were some kind of scam or something because I reached out to her out of the blue and said, would you like to sponsor us while we help your shop? And I just want to kind of put out there that, hey, we're a give and take thing. We want to expose your shop and get you guys some business at the same time you helping us spread the word of Wine and Witchcraft. That's it. That's all we ask is you to be like, hey, have you heard about Wine and Witchcraft? Hey, I sponsor Wine and Witchcraft. Have you seen it? That's all we ask. In return of sitting here for 15, 20 minutes talking about your products and getting people to shop with you. And that's what we want. We want people to shop small businesses or local witchy shops that are brand new that need exposure. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people think that I'm reaching out to them as part of I'm trying to scam you. I'm just trying to ask if you'd like a little help and a little exposure. That's all, the goodness of my heart. But that's the luck I've had. So that's why I figured I'd reach out to you guys, our honorable members, and let you guys know what we're opening up a sponsorship if anybody would like to sponsor Wine and Witchcraft.
Correct. And we've had sponsors before that we've had an amazing amount of success with.
Madame Phoenix was amazing. She would reach out to me at least every other week and be like, hey girl, I had 15 people buy stuff this week. Thank you so much. She was very gracious. She gave us a code for the whole entire 12 months and gave us products to try out so that we could talk about them. She was wonderful. And in return, you guys shopped her and got some goodies. And, it was a great sponsorship for 12 months.
It was a fantastic sponsorship. Yeah. And our very first sponsor, we have to give a shout out for.
Bloodbath. She was good.
Bloodbath product. That was fantastic. Too. And, that's the thing is, we give the exposure and we get you guys a discount.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about is we're trying to give you guys, some great Etsy shops to shop from if you're not aware of some of the Etsy shops and stuff like that. Because I do believe in small businesses because that's the blood that runs through our veins, right? We all shop at Etsy and Amazon, right?
And you get a little discount. Right. And you get to save some money along the way.
Yeah.
Drevin's already talking about season 6. Okay, let's get.
Oh, honey, we're gonna be here for season 12, honey. We're not.
Okay, wow. We're gonna be here for season 25.
Honestly, I don't see Wine and Witchcraft ending anytime in my relative future because I have too much fun doing it. I'm sorry, I do.
Well, no, as long as people are showing up and we're enjoying it, we're gonna be here.
Yeah.
What a hippie woman, Rachel said, yay, birthday with demons. Exactly. December 2nd, we are doing the demon show. That is Rachel's birthday. And we're going to be talking about demons. And we picked that day because she is a demon.
She's a demon. She's a brown demon.
She's the brown demon.
She's a brown demon.
So if you guys have, like I said, if you guys have witchy shops or you know someone who has one, please feel free to email us so we can get in touch and give you guys some deets and some deals and save a couple bucks, because who doesn't want to save a couple bucks? This economy is fucking
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
This economy is going crazy. But yeah, like, God, I love this show. I love the people that come to this show. Everybody in the audience. I fucking love these people. I do. I love them. I want to eat them up like fucking waffles, like chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. Well, you know, we've been doing this for 4 years and I keep waiting for us to go live and nobody shows up.
It's never going to happen. People love it so much.
I just feel like, you know, at some point, aren't people going to get bored of us? I don't know. I guess not. Not yet. They haven't.
No, because you never know what kind of diarrhea we're going to splatter all over the place. I mean,
I guess so.
Happen. You know, and I have to say, I've met some of the most wonderful people. You know, granted, I knew Nina before Wine and Witchcraft, but you know, to be able to go to Las Vegas and hang out with her, you know, those kinds of things. Justin, I met you via doing fucking YouTube. Think about the people we've gotten to meet, like doing this, like people that'll be my friends until the day I'm in the ground, you know? It's like, it's so fucking cool. I fucking love it. I do. I wish I could meet everybody here and just have a big, huge, giant party.
Well, I think really what needs to happen is and this has been on my mind, you and I just need to create an oracle deck. We need to write a book. We need to
I've already created an oracle deck, bitch. It's over there.
I know, where is it?
Well, because I created it and wasn't in love with it, even though everybody else was in love with it. When I did a video on it, everybody's like, oh my God, can I have it? And I'm like, I only made one, bitch. But I made it and I wasn't in love with it. And so I just did not continue on with it. But you know what I really want to do? I'm going to be completely honest with you. With my graphic art skills, I want to create a Lenormand deck. And the reason why I want to create a Lenormand deck is because all of Lenormand decks that I have seen are ugly as fuck. And I want to create one that is beautiful. I mean, all the ones that I've seen, they're just like, ew, gross, boring. Like, I want to create like an amazing one, because they're just, if you type in Lenormand and you look at all the decks that are out there right now in the mass market, except for this one right here that Nina got me for my birthday, because this is an oracle deck, but it's very in Lenormand type style. It's the Intuit Oracle, and I fucking love this shit. But besides that, they all fucking blow.
Well, you know, we've been doing this show for 4 years and we've created merch, and you guys have been so supportive of everything we've done. But, you know, it's been 4 years. We really need to create a wine and witchcraft product.
We do. And I know Knives Out is talking about ceremonial wine. There are many, many wine companies that allow you to put your own label on them. And we have tackled that idea in our heads before. So that might be something that is in the future. But I wouldn't mind creating like a Lenormand deck or an oracle deck that's Wine and Witchcraft brand.
We should. I mean, if you think about it, we have done over 60 episodes of this show. There is so much content and things we could really create that I think people would love to do. And like, people have been so supportive. I think it's time that we give back with something that people could use day in and day out with their magical practice. I'm just going to say it live here on air. It's time. It has to.
Nina's talking about, yes, you do that. I want to create a rock and roll tarot deck. Oh my God. Can you imagine how awesome that would be if you take like tons of like bands you could go from the 70s to today. Like you could go a whole like couple decades there, right? And throw in like all the bands from the 70s through the 200s to the 2000s, you know, and you could create like a whole like rock like legacy. Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be so, and then you could have like Love, Hate, and Quiet Riot in there as like 2 separate cards. Oh my God. I'm like, whoo, thinking, but yes, that would be such a good idea. Such a good idea.
Just saying, like, it's past time. And Brittany and I have talked about it. It's just, you know, how do I say this? Brittany and I have had so many conversations about a book, about audio formats, about wine, about cards. We just don't know. It's hard to gauge, right? Because this is the Witchy Dive Bar. That's what we are. We'll always be that, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20, however long you guys allow us to do the show, however long you guys tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. You know, however long you guys want to bless us with this avenue, because here's the thing, Brittany and I have tried things before and nothing has hit the way Wine and Witchcraft has. You guys show up time and time again. You guys, I mean, 3, 4, 5, 600 views per episode. Like, you guys just show up for us, and we want to give back. It's just, you know, we don't know exactly what you guys want. You know, sometimes it's hard to decide.
Wine. They want a Wine and Witchcraft deck. They want, I mean, we've given them merch as far as t-shirts and tumblers and wine glasses, but they want, I mean, let me just say thank you, Nina, so much for rocking Wine and Witchcraft over in the UK. This girl, I sent you the picture, Justin. This girl went over to the UK, wore that shit, and was like, "What up, bitches?" I love that girl. She fucking sported that shit, Wine and Witchcraft, out on her husband's tour, and it was fucking epic. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, they want wine bottles with our brand on it. They want oracle or tarot decks with that we put together. My graphics with your writing. They want these things, you know, and I would love that. Like artwork by Brittany Tomasi and written by Justin Hall. I would love that. I would fucking love that.
I mean, would you guys be interested in that? Would you guys be interested in an oracle deck or a Lenormand deck, a Wine and Witchcraft oracle, or like, this is something we've talked about. It's just the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Being 100% real, this show is driven by you guys. Yes, we're on camera. Yes, we come up with the topics and we pull guests and we do all these things, but, and I know it's foo-foo, okay? Justin's poems with Brittany's graphics. Yes. I know it's a little foo-foo to say this, but like, we wouldn't be here if three people were watching, or 10 people. Like, we just wouldn't.
Our friends, and I call you guys friends because that's what you are. You know, it's our friends that come to this show that make it run. If you guys weren't here, there would be no Wine and Witchcraft. That's the true statement. You know, you're the fool that runs this. Yes.
And, you know, we want to give you guys what you want and something you'll use. And there's been so many conversations about it, you know, and Brittany and I are hard starters on things because I think we both have been traumatized by certain events. To be honest, trauma. And so it's hard because it's like to think about creating a deck or a book or any of those things. It's scary. It's really scary to think about because, you know, Brittany and I, and I'm going to speak for both of us and she can correct me if I'm wrong, but we have never had the type of love that you guys give us and the honor and the respect. And we just don't want to do anything that is going to be perceived by you guys, not everybody else. Just being real here, fuck everybody else. You know, the thing that's so special, I think, about our show is the people who create it. And that's not just her and I and the guests, but that's you guys. And we're not PC and we're not driven by what the expectation is. And people know that they can come here and we're just going to have fun, right? Mm-hmm. And we're wrong sometimes, we're right sometimes, and you guys give us the grace to do that and to learn. And everybody has an opportunity to learn.
When you fuck up, you back us up anyway.
Right. And, you know, we just don't want to do anything that's going to feel like is going to be perceived as like a cash grab or make
Right,
you guys feel like we think we're better, because we're not. Whether it's,
no.
15 people watching or 130 people watching, like the connection is what's important to make the
And I
show
think that's
continue
why
to
Justin
grow.
and I, when we had kind of a little meeting about the upcoming season, we were talking about, well, December's going to be this, January is going to be this, February is going to be this. We talked about we need an open mic night like we had
Yeah,
in season 2, I think.
2 or
Um,
3, I don't remember when we
Whenever I
had that.
had my surgery, I said to Justin, I said, I can't get into the studio in the witchy room because I can't move. I had just come out of surgery like 7 days prior, so we decided to do a slumber party. And the way we did the slumber party, since I had to come to you from my bed, was have an open mic night where we gave the link out freely and anybody could join in and be on stage with us. And we really want to do that again. Like, really bad. So we want to put another open stage or open mic night out there for anybody who wants to be on the show for 15, 20-minute segments can and talk about whatever the fuck, So we want to do that again too, because we want to showcase not just you guys in the audience and by highlighting your comments in the bottom, but by having you on the fucking stage with us, like they do in rock shows where they grab an audience member and they pull them on stage and whatever, they sing with them or whatever for a song. We want to do that, so.
Yes. And we're just so grateful for you guys, honestly, because we look so forward to this show. I sometimes don't think you guys realize how important, here's the thing. To have people reach out and be like, I wait for Wine Witchcraft. For some people, this is a connection that they don't get on their day-to-day life, in their day-to-day life, right? Because they're isolated for whatever feeling, for wherever they live. They're isolated in their witchcraft, isolated in the way that they express themselves, and they're able to come here and do that freely. And, you guys also give us the opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? Like our own personal channels are fantastic. I love my channel. It's not going anywhere. I know Brittany feels the same way.
Even though I haven't updated in over a month.
Correct. We're going to skip over that part. But, you guys continually show up for us. And it really, really, really means a lot.
And I think I really realized, I know I'm calling Nina on the stage a lot, but I have to just reference her because it's something that I realized when I was in Vegas and we exchanged phone numbers and, I was out there for my birthday. That was the number one foremost thing that I was out there for, right? And Nina took it upon herself to come out to my hotel, pick us up. We went out to dinner. We had a great time. She showed us around her hometown. Well, not her hometown, but her hometown, if you know what I mean. So, to reach out to someone who I had met via my channel and via Wine and Witchcraft and via my book club and be able to go to their hometown and have her be like welcoming with open arms. And our friendship just freaking grew from there. And now she's one of my closest friends. I love her dearly. When you have that, like you go over that, like outside the box into real life and you see that how people just welcome you and just eat you up. I was eating her up, it's just one of those things. It's like, you all are that, and it's hard to express via the internet sometimes, so I don't know. It's just one of those things where I was just like, when I was, flying home, I was like, she's the most amazing fucking human being. It was cool. It was just really fucking cool. I loved it. So
yeah, it's amazing. So Brittany and I will be having conversations about that.
Well, another thing that's going to happen is you need to come to my house, bitch, before I fucking give it to the fucking homeless people.
I know. But we'll be working behind the scenes, and you guys have given us a lot of fantastic ideas. It's just one, and it's not you guys, it's us. It's just one of those things where it feels like it's hard to accept love sometimes.
It is. And that's why, like, sometimes when, like, I'll see something on Amazon, Justin, and I'm like, oh, Justin needs this. And I'll buy it in the middle of, like, March. And you're like, bitch, it ain't my birthday. It ain't Christmas. It's not fucking New Year's. What the fuck you sending me shit for? I'm like, because I just saw it and I'm like, you need it. And you're like, oh, okay. You know, it's like shit like that. You know, sometimes it's just really hard to accept love for like no reason. And so sometimes for us, it's like, oh, you love us. Oh.
Yes, it is. And it's like, okay, but if we do that, is anybody gonna like why do they
right?
Why do they care? I don't know.
I don't
but it is very much obliged.
So this whole show has turned into a Hallmark episode. This is the Hallmark.
I know.
You're in the wrong place if you think this is Wine and Witchcraft. This is the Hallmark channel.
This is
the green card.
This is All American Family.
Okay, so you know, Nina's talking about this too. I'll be seeing you both at the rock cruise. Yes, they have the rock cruise that will be going to down to Miami and doing all the things. So you will get to meet Nina as well. So that will be
so exciting. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to change the subject now because people are starting to cry. We've turned into the fucking after school special.
We never do that though. So, you know, we have to bring the drama.
That is true. That is true. So I just want to talk about this incense I'm burning tonight real quick because I'm obsessed with it. So this is Ganesh and it's the Libra. The Libra. Okay. So they have all your signs. Go get yourself your pack of your sign. It smells so good. I bet you Virgo smells like diarrhea.
Fuck off, bitch. I have been burning a radius incense for the gown.
So what does it smell like?
It smells like if Hecate queefed in my face.
I love it.
So good. Aradia, I don't know if you're still here. I know she commented that she was here. I don't know if she's still here or not, but I was talking about her.
Yeah, she came up late.
She did. I was talking about your oils and I was talking about a video that's going to be coming very soon. So I did send her a voice memo and okay, let's see. I'm going to just get crazy here. Let me see. I can pull up the voice memo. We're gonna get a little behind the scenes feature here. Oh, how did I do that? I don't even know. Oh, okay. Where is it? Aradia. I'm gonna share some deets.
Okay. You spilling the beans. She's here. She's still here.
She's here. Okay, so this is a voice memo that I sent her. Oh, maybe.
It sounds like a fucking broken microphone. Okay.
Why the fuck is it not playing?
Because it doesn't like you. It doesn't want you to share the deets.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's not going to play. What the fuck?
Close the app and then open it again. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Close it all out and then open it back up again.
And she was like, I wish I had the energy that you had right now. What was her response? That made my day. I need whatever you're taking.
Wait, is this after you showed us the video of it sparking all over the place and you nearly burning the house down?
Yes, it's not working. I don't know what the fucking problem is. You know what? Fuck Instagram. Fuck it all.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. All this shit.
Well, I don't have any of the Witch of Dark Lights incense, but I said Ganesh. Ella. And I have to say, Nina also got me some Ganesh. And it's amazing. Ella. I love Ganesh. It's cheap and it's great and it's wonderful and it smells amazing. It smells like my vagina. Okay. Oh. And it's great and it's wonderful and it smells amazing. It smells like my vagina. Okay, Aries, I wonder if it smells like domination. Ooh. I don't know. Look, if you go on Ganesh.com, because I love me Ganesh, and that's why I was so excited when Nina got me Ganesh. When I opened up my birthday present, I was like, oh my God, you got me Ganesh. I love Ganesh because it's affordable and it's just really good quality incense. But I saw they had all of the signs. So I have to say Libra smells absolutely fucking amazing because that's what I am. It's very floral, very light, very kind of like gardenia, a lot like gardenia. And I love the fact that when they burn, they smell like what they're supposed to smell like, not like ash and stick and nastiness. So you should check out your horoscope, whatever your sign is, and get yourself a pack. And I know you can't really get it in like Walmart and stuff like that. You have to order it from Ganesh.com.
Yes.
But I have to say that Libra is so fucking good. I'm obsessed with this. Obsessed with it.
Well, the only thing that I've really been burning, like I said, is radios. I've also been burning the Hecate incense, and those are the majority of what I've done. I do pull the ones that Nina sent me for my birthday.
That's right. She sent you the ones that I got. Oh my God, they're so good from that witchy shop of hers.
So good. So good. Also, okay, so I did want to say, thank you guys so much. We finished the second season of Traversing the Darkness. The last episode, I forgot to mention it on our last episode of Wine and Witchcraft, but season 2 of Traversing the Darkness with Owlvine has ended. This season 2 finale, episode 8, is out now. So if you search Traversing the Darkness podcast, you can listen and catch up to all the episodes. We kind of just go through the podcast, chit chat a little bit, and yeah, so super exciting.
So I have to say something about the podcast.
You haven't listened to it, we know.
No, I have. So here's the thing about the podcast. It's a Wine and Witchcraft production. So yes, it is based off of the Wine and Witchcraft brand. It is part of the same company. Listen to it if you have not. I will be completely honest with you. I hate podcasts. Absolutely can't stand them. But Traversing the Darkness is the only one that I will listen to. And usually what I do is I just throw it on my computer or whatever, my laptop, while I'm doing laundry, which fucking never-ending mountain of laundry. Justin and Owlvine know this.
Yeah.
Fucking laundry every day. I will throw that shit on and just do what I got to do the dishes, whatever. So from someone who hates podcasts, I'm just not a podcast person, honestly. Like I'm a visual person. I like to see. I don't like to just listen. And I have to say, I can throw Traversing the Darkness on and just listen to the whole entire thing. And for you to say don't listen to it, fucking bitch, I called you out on a snafu that wasn't even a snafu. So you know I bitch. I was like, oh, you made an oopsie. He's like, where's the oopsie? I'm like, you said it was season something, episode something. And you were like, no, that's just the font, bitch. So don't tell me I don't listen to that shit. First of all, it's my company, so I'm gonna listen to it. Second of all, it's my 2 besties, so I'm gonna listen to it. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yes. Yeah, the 7 did look like a 1, though. It did.
It did. I was like, you made a snafu, and Justin's like, where's the snafu? I'm like, bitch, it says like episode 1, it's episode 7. You're like, bitch, it's the font. And I'm like, oh, well, season 3, pick a new font.
Right.
So now let me ask you, because even though it's part of our company, the Wine and Witchcraft Network, I'm not part of the podcast. That is something that is owned by Owlvine and Justin. So let me ask you this. Is Owlvine coming back for season 3?
She is. She is going to come back for season 3. We don't have a release date yet. We're just taking a little break. And so I did want to say this too, because somebody messaged me on Instagram about it. Okay, so Brittany and I have big dreams, right, for the Wine and Witchcraft brand. So we do have like a sub company, kind of, and it's called the Wine and Witchcraft Network. It is on Instagram, but we haven't posted anything there yet. We're still trying to figure out what this is going to be, but we want to create a network, essentially. Like Wine and Witchcraft Live is obviously the number one kind of programming that we have, and then we also have the podcast, but we do have an interest in the future in working with other content creators to create WWN, Wine and Witchcraft Network, and kind of do that across different social media platforms. So that's also something that's in the podcast, in in the working.
We're not opposed to more people joining the company. And the company, I mean, like we're Walmart and we're going to pay you.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say that because we pay you in other ways. But, you know, we started Wine and Witchcraft, and then we decided to make a podcast. People said, you know, people confuse this show with, they would call it a podcast. I'm like, bitch, this ain't no podcast. Because a podcast is audio, not visual. So Justin set out to, I really want to do a podcast. And I'm like, well, I don't like podcasts. You're like, bitch, I don't care if you like podcasts. I'm doing a podcast, bitch. And I'm like, okay, fine, fuck her. And so he went off and started a podcast and made it part of our network brand. And then he's like, well, I started my subdivision. Where's yours? And I'm like, oh, well, I had this idea, but I decided to fuck it all and not do it. And you're like, oh, rolling your eyes once again. So there is room for other departments in the Wine and Witchcraft Network. We just have not formulated them, but we are thinking about completely always ever expanding. You know, we've got the live show, we've got the podcast. There might be kind of like a written form website, blog type thing going on, you know, because we've got the written or the audio, the visual. We're missing the written form. So that's something that we might do in the future. Who knows? But along with other things that we might expand into. But, you know, we do want to make the Wine and Witchcraft Network like a conglomerate, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, we have an idea for an Instagram show as well. Like there's been a lot of things behind the scenes that we've been talking about. It's just, you know, it takes time to plan these things and to really get them executed the way we want to do them.
So I'm just reading Nebulon's thing here. If you like Traversing the Darkness, as I also love that one, you might also enjoy the Kindred Spirit podcast, formerly Black Sheep and Broomsticks. Hey, didn't we have them on the Wine and Witchcraft?
We did. They came in. We talked about last season, I believe. We talked about Christian influences. So yes, they were on the show. You can check that out. We do have playlists on the channel for each season. So they were on season 3. We talked about Christian influences. Brittany was deathly ill.
Oh so my God.
She was physically there.
I was trying so hard, guys, because even tonight, I woke up this morning with a headache. If you guys have ever done that, we wake up with a headache. I woke up with a headache, and then we went out to my new house. We go out every weekend to go check out my new house to see the progress on it. And then we go to breakfast, and then we come home and diddle around. And my son, my 10-year-old, I went downstairs to get my bottle of wine. He's like, Mommy, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting my bottle of wine for the show. He goes, but don't you feel like icky? And I go, yeah, I still have a headache, but the show must go on. Like, and he just looked at me like, oh, okay then. You know, so the show for me always, unless I'm like, I mean, I just came out of surgery 7 days and I did that show, what was last year, you know, so I will always be here unless I'm literally dying. And that night, I honestly think I had COVID and I was drinking NyQuil during the show. And I wish I could have been more present with the guests, but I was just so ill. But I'm here, whether I am dying or I'm alive, I don't fucking care. This is my baby, and I will always be here unless I literally cannot make it to the witchy room. So, yeah, my house is almost ready. My house, we have not gotten our 30-day notice yet. With 30-day notice of, you know, this is your closing date, you're 30 days out. We have not gotten that yet. So we at least know that it's not going to be before December 18th. But we went to the new house today, and there will be a video. I know it's been a month since I posted a video on my YouTube channel. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but I did take some video today of inside the house. I gave Owlvine and Justin a sneak peek of what's going on inside the house, but I will post a video of where we are now. We have the outside of the house painted. We are outside painted. We are inside looking pretty amazing.
We are, yes.
It's crazy to think that house was literally just fucking cement and cinder blocks like 2 months ago. It's crazy.
I know.
But I will be posting a Brittany Builds a House video probably Monday or Tuesday. So if you guys have been following along on that journey of where the house was and where it is now, I will be posting an update beginning of this week. So there's that.
Yes.
So
There's that. Also, don't forget to check out the Wine and Witchcraft merch if you guys want to do that. That is Wine and Witchcraft on Fourth Wall, so you guys can check that out. Gosh, I'm so intoxicated.
That's funny because you are always intoxicated and I'm not.
That's because I actually drank.
Really? I actually drank this. Not much of this bottle left, bitch.
I have nothing left.
Well, you pre-gamed and I didn't. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm just reading the comments here. Dana and Alvine are amazing people and very knowledgeable. I love Traversing the Darkness because Justin is so intelligent. Also agree on that. And awesome. And is always equally awesome co-host. And I see them. The video totally awesome. I have to agree. You know, along my journey of doing YouTube, I have to say that I suck at articulating. Like I'll have a thought in my head and have a whole process in my head, but when it comes out my mouth, it makes absolutely no fucking sense, or I don't find the right words to express it. When I watch your videos or even listen to Traversing the Darkness, you have a way, and well, Alvine has this too, to be completely honest, of articulating those thoughts into words that capture. And I just don't have that. Like when I was, and this is not a bad thing, like, hey, like I don't, whatever. When I was making the video, a decade on YouTube was a tag video. I think that Starlight Spell Singer started.
Yeah.
When it came to explaining your YouTube name, if I had taken upon myself to explain what esoteric echoes means, it would have been a shit show. I literally in that video had to look up the word esoteric, even though I knew what it meant. I had to give you the dictionary definition of it because I cannot brain to mouth articulate in that way. But you and Alvine have an amazing bond where you're able to articulate thoughts and ideas in a way that are easily understood. And I think that's what makes Traversing the Darkness such a grab for a lot of people, and people can really just turn it on and do the dishes or turn it on and cook, is they don't need to look at anything because you articulate so well the ideas and the thoughts present that it really speaks to a lot of people. And I think that's what people grab about it. And like I said, I hate podcasts. I fucking hate them. I can't stand them. But I'll listen to Traversing the Darkness. So that speaks a lot for someone who fucking can't stand it.
It's funny you say that because like the podcast is kind of taken on a life of its own and people commenting on different platforms. And Alvine and I talked about this in the last episode of season 2. I feel stupid a lot of the time doing the podcast. Like I don't feel like I sound well. And Alvine and I have spoken before we record and after even. And it's like, I never know if it's going to make any sense, but somehow
weird. That's weird for me because when I listen to it, like I said, I hate podcasts. And to listen to you guys talk, like, okay, so you know what YouTube videos, and I know everybody audience can raise their hand. Go ahead, raise your hand at this comment because I know it's true. Fast forwarding, right? How many times you watch a YouTube video? I'm not saying Justin or I, because I know you don't do that with us. But you watch a YouTube video you somewhat like, but you'll fast forward through the bullshit or the boring parts. With Traversing the Darkness, you don't want to do that because you're like, if I do that, I'm going to miss some fucking nugget that I need to know. So you don't. And that's the biggest grasp for me is the fact that it's a platform I hate, but it's a platform I cannot fast forward. And I think that that's huge, you know? The deck was
Intuit Oracle.
The Intuit Oracle. I know this is my camera's not focusing. It's not going to. It's a webcam. It fucking sucks. But this shit, like I said, is the bomb. It is fucking amazing. And when Nina got it for me, she even said, she goes, let me tell you, that deck reads fucking amazing. I'm like, okay. So I said, well, in November, I'm going to use it. And let me tell you, because the way I read is I do 3 tarot and 1 oracle. So this is my oracle for the month. And let me tell you, this pairs well with any tarot deck you use. So fucking brilliant. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Yes, Justin Owlvine's voices mesh really well. It's like they know each other so well that, you know, Justin and I have known each other for decades, and yet he still cuts me off and I still cut him off, and it's like, whatever. But it's like this weird gel between Owlvine and Justin that they just know when to stop and when to start and when to do this. And I know this editing, you know, this cutting out of pieces of shit. I mean, that's with YouTube videos too, but there's just like this gel that happens in this podcast that, like, even if you're not a podcast person, trust me.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like I was telling Owlvine, and we may have said it on the podcast, I'm not sure, but you know, the struggle that I've had with the podcast is I approach it how I approach Wine and Witchcraft, which serves as a deficit to me because, you know, you and I have known each other for 12, 13 years. I don't know. Rachel or Anthony will have to correct us because we either say too short or too long. But,
yeah, I know.
You and I have known each other so well and we talk so often that we understand each other in that way, right? And it's so beautiful. And that's something that's been so fantastic about this last season of the podcast is Owlvine and I, the three of us, have such a conversational relationship because we talk so often that it does make it easy. But, you know, a podcast is not the same as a live show. Posting pre-recorded videos is not the same as a live show. It takes something. You know what I mean? So it's just a learning process because, you know, other creators who have live shows have come to us and said, how do you guys do it? Like this is, and even other people like Ivy the Cultist has even said, like, how do you guys do this? Like the whole live thing is intimidating. And it is, but after 4 years, there's, you know, there's the comfortability. We don't know everything. Let me just preface that. We don't. But when you do it so long, you build a rapport with each other and you know how you work together. You know, when you worked with somebody, and Brittany and I do view this as fun and everything, but we approach it as
a business
work in a way.
Yeah. Yep.
When you work with someone for so long and then you go on to another project like the podcast, you kind of not purposefully, but subconsciously like apply that, you know what I mean, to that new project. And it's not exactly the same. So me and Owlvine are like, it's, you know, it's still an adjustment. There's still adjustments, you know, that have to be made. But
my husband says 15 years this January.
God, I feel old.
Yeah, like we met each other when we were babies. Yeah, it'll be 15 years this January, as my husband saying, 15 years this January. Let me ask you this about the podcast, though, just since we're talking about the podcast. In season 3, are you and Owlvine going to be bringing on any guests?
So when the podcast ended, Owlvine and I spoke. So we do have a couple of ideas for season 3. That is a conversation that's happening, but we haven't really, we don't have a concrete plan yet, but we do have a lot of working ideas, for what we want to do. But, you know, it's a lot just because, you know, I have my channel, I have the live show, and then the podcast and all these things. So I'm like,
I thought you wanted to do like a, you know, you and Owlvine, but then bring on a third opinion. And even some of the guests that have been on our show here on Wine and Witchcraft could be then on the podcast to further extend what they expressed here on Wine and Witchcraft. If that was something that you guys wanted to kind of bring in for an added element to topic. I don't know if there's something you guys were thinking about because it has been asked.
Yeah. Well, okay. And we also talked about having conversations with practitioners about trauma and how that's affected their witchcraft, how that drove to witchcraft. And, you know, here's the thing, the podcast and me and Owlvine are very clear about that, as are you when you talk about it. Like the podcast is heavier than Wine and Witchcraft Live. Like it's a heavier thing. So It is a conversation we're having, and I think it would be a good thing to do in season 3. And Owlvine, Owlvine is all for it. So, have these deeper conversations with people about trauma, what led them to witchcraft, how it affects them, really getting into the nitty gritty. So that is definitely something we're talking about. But I don't know. I think maybe February, March. I don't know. We haven't nailed down a time of when season 3 will happen, but it will happen.
Okay, so your wife is sitting here talking about Red Elephant, Target, and mom jeans. That's how we met in person. I came down here. So the quick story, because I know we're past time here. A quick story about how Justin and I met. We met here on the tubes. Watching each other's channels, and then Anthony's mom lives in Orlando, and Justin lives not far from here. So I was coming down to visit Mom Dukes, right? And I was like, hey, I'm going to be in your home state, and he's like, okay, well then come on over. So same kind of situation with Nina and I was coming to his home state to visit, and we drove out to his hometown and we met up. First time meeting Rachel and first time meeting Justin, but it was very odd. I was very nervous driving to the house, but once we knocked on the door and he opened the door, it was like I went to high school with him. It was very weird. And we sat in his living room and just laughed and talked. And he's like, hey, y'all hungry? I'm like, yeah, we're hungry. I got you. We went to this place called the Red Elephant, which is no longer in business, but it was delicious. We went to this restaurant called the Red Elephant. It was yummy. And then we're walking out of the Red Elephant, walking towards our car, and him and Rachel are behind me and Anthony. And he looks at me, he goes, girl, those jeans, no. You look like you have a dump in your goddamn pants, honey. You have an ass and you have a body. Why are we wearing these jeans? And I just started busting out laughing. He's like, Target now. We're going now. And so we went to Target. And we're in search for jeans that kind of like curved because I've got a big booty, right? But I've got a round, nice, firm booty. But he's like, you can't be wearing saggy ass jeans. This don't work, honey. So we're in Target. We're on the hunt for jeans that fit my ass correctly, right? And every time I picked out a jean or something or laughed at something that was just out of style, he was loud, obnoxious, and on point. To the point where people were staring at us. And I didn't fucking care. I was laughing so hard. I probably pissed those fucking nasty ass jeans. And I'm sitting there like crawling on the floor laughing hysterically. And at one point I look over and this woman, this Karen, is looking over at Justin with these fucking judging eyes. Justin whips around and goes, you got a problem, Yum? Is there a fucking problem? Do you have a problem? And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna get kicked out. We're done. We're going to jail. And he's loud as fuck going, do you have a staring problem? You've never seen two people looking for a pair of jeans before? Like loud as fucking fuck. And I'm like, we're done. And I'm at the same time laughing hysterically. I'm literally pissing myself. So finally, we find this pair of jeans that fits my ass perfectly, and it's got all these cute rips in the front. And Justin's like, honey, those are perfect. Let me get myself a pair. So he gets a pair of the same exact jeans in his size, and we go to the cash register, we buy our jeans, we put them on, we're fucking twinnies, walking out with our booties looking like shit, and we're like, yeah, bitch. And he's like, you got a problem, honey? Like loud as fuck. That was my experiment with Justin in a Target about nasty ass booty jeans. Don't ever go to Justin's house in nasty ass sagging jeans because it ain't gonna work, honey.
It ain't gonna work.
That was my life.
It was such an experience. And to be able to now do this show with you is just full circle.
I know. We've gone from that to you being my, bridesmaid. No, you weren't even a bridesmaid. You were my fucking maid of honor at my wedding. Your wife being a bridesmaid in my fucking wedding. Like, it has gone into this huge thing where, like, your family, it's, Penelope is my niece. It's turned into this, like,
whole
It's
other life.
an amazing ride, and I hope that if I die before you, that you look at all these bitches crying over my grave and go, bitch, what's your fucking problem? Drink that fucking wine. We don't waste that. I hope that's what you have to say at my wedding, because if there's anybody wasting wine, we have a problem.
Well, that's what I told Rachel. I was like, at my funeral, and it's so funny because Brittany and I are so morbid. She's like, okay, I need you to take over my Facebook. This is my YouTube information. I'm like, is there something you're not telling me? Like, do you have like a terminal illness? She's like, no, I just need you to know what this stuff is. So if something happens, I'm like, okay, I don't really like this, where this conversation is going. But I was telling Rachel, I was like, you need to know. And I told Brittany this, like, I want a New Orleans style funeral. Like, I want all black. I want saxophones. I want a party. I want wine. I want it all. Like, I want a witchy hoodoo style funeral. I want you to put me in the ground in the ground in a magical way. You know, I can't imagine a life without you. I really, really can't. Or even Wine and Witchcraft right now. Like, I know this.
And that's why I say, like, if anybody is fucking wasting wine at my funeral, please make them drink it. I don't care if you have to fucking throw it in their face and make them swallow it. There's no wasting wine at my funeral. And that's why when, like, you know, YouTube created that thing. If something happens to you, who do you want to be in charge of YouTube? I literally put Justin Hall in charge of my fucking YouTube if something should happen. Be like, the bitch has died. Show up with your bottle of wine at this address at this time. If you don't come, you're dead to me. That's what I.
Yeah, we're definitely live streaming the funeral. There's
absolutely.
I want my funeral live
first, but you know,
I'm going out with a bang.
So you know, we drink and vape. So who really knows who's gonna fucking die first?
Exactly, and you know that's the thing. Like, I know realistically, like, Wine and Witchcraft isn't going to last forever. Like, I don't know when the end will be, but this has just been, you know, and here's the thing. We're over and we're just going with it, okay? So as long as you guys are watching, we're here, okay? Yeah. You're good, Brittany?
Oh, I'm good.
I'm good too. You know, the thing is like, I came back to YouTube and Brittany had me on her little show that she had with friends and on her channel called Wine and Witchcraft. And then she's like, look, my best friend is back on YouTube. Yep. Check him out. She had me on the show a couple times. Her, you know, her thing that she did. And she's like, look, let's make this a show. You need to co-host. You need to co-own. We're going to do this thing. We're going to make it its own entity. And I'm like, bitch, we've been down this road before. It never ends good. It never ends well. And here we are. And I'm going to say something. I haven't even told Brittany this. Like, truly.
You tell me everything, bitch.
I know, but I told Rachel, and Rachel's going to be like, oh God. I told Rachel, I was like, I give it 2 years. And we're going to get canceled. Like, it's not going to, like, this is not going to work. Something's going to happen. We're going to get canceled. We're going to get in some it's like something's going to happen, right? And shit has happened.
Oh, yeah.
We've had multiple things happen. And we're still here. And people still watch. We have 40-something people. And it's just kind of blows my mind every single time, because like that's the thing, like everybody wants that best friend at work. Like, we all know that, right? Everybody wants the best friend at work. But to be able to do this with somebody that you love, even though Brittany and I don't agree on everything, because we don't, but we respect each other, we love each other. The fact that you guys still support us after 4 years is like, who does a live show in the witchy community for 4 years and gets 300, 400, 500, 600 views?
It has
not a lot of people.
Up and up and up, and like we were talking about earlier with our Hallmark little segment. You know, it's the audience that has driven that. And you know, I have to say, there are many times you and I disagree, but it's a friendship where like you'll say something so stupid, and I'll be like, I don't get mad at you, I laugh. You know what I mean? Or if it's not laughing that you and I do, it's, you know, that silent cross the line, but that lasts like, I don't know, 20 hours, and then it's like you're over it. It never happened, you know? So there's been many times where here on Wine and Witchcraft, my mouth has got me in trouble where behind the scenes, after the fact, I'd be like, oh my God, Justin, I'm so sorry, my mouth. And he's like, girl, it's fine. Your mouth sucks. Whatever. We'll move on. There's been times where Justin will say, a big bitch, and be like, I'm sorry. And I'll be like, okay. You know, there's been times when we've been like, we're done. We're canceling the show. We'll figure out a way to tell the audience that we're done. And I'll be like, my senses will come to me and I'll be like, look, let's give it a week. Let's let it fester. Let's not cancel anything. Let's let it fester and revisit it like 2 days before the show is supposed to air. And by that time, we're like, fuck that shit. That shit was like a week ago, whatever, you know? So we have this friendship that's like a silent understood, that there's laughter. There's a small bit of silence where someone has, you know, kind of stepped over the fence, but they quickly get back in check without having to say a word. There's instances where one person's acting completely irrationally and the other person's like, okay, let's just chill. You know,
well, and we can't have that conversation either without bringing Owl Vine into the conversation, because last season there was some drama. We're not going to rehash it, but we were talking about like, okay, we're just going to end the show. And Owl Vine was like, hold on.
She's like,
wait a minute.
She's like, whoa, because you know,
we're not doing that.
We have chats that go on behind the scenes. I've got a chat with Justin. We've got Kookaburra and the Coconuts. That's me and Justin and Owl Vine, because she's a fucking Kookaburra and we're the Coconuts. You know, we talk every day. And then, you know, I got others with other people, but we talk every day in Kookaburra and the Coconuts. It's like we're family, right? And we're like, Justin and I are like, fuck this shit. We're fucking done. And she's like, hold up. Shut the fuck up. No one's fucking done. You sit in your fucking seat. You sit in your fucking seat. No. And she's just like, this ain't happening. No, let's talk this out first. So sometimes she's our rational, like, shut the fuck up, you two fucking bitches. Yes. We're going to get to this.
She's definitely the voice of reason. That is for sure.
Many times. But there's also times we've been her voice of reason where she's like, I'm fucking done with this. I've had enough of it. We're like, whoa, Kookaburra, calm down. Get back on your perch.
Right.
Calm the fuck down. The coconuts are here. Calm it down.
Yeah, and that, like people are saying in the chat, that's what friendships are for. That is, you need people in your corner to be like, okay, you're overreacting or you're underreacting. Like you need to do a little bit more here. So it's definitely a beautiful relationship. We're getting all mushy again, but I'm intoxicated. I finished a whole bottle of wine.
That's what we do. Look, we're already like fucking 20 minutes over the fucking line. But, you know, Wine and Witchcraft does it sometimes. We end at 10:30, but sometimes, you know, shit gets fucking started and Justin gets drunk. And then, you know, you never know. He's got his pants around his ankles. It's what happens.
It's what happens. Welcome to the show. Oh, let me take another sip.
I thought you said, whoa. I thought you said you finished your wine, you little drunken whore.
I'm almost done. This is all that I have left.
Okay.
Just saying. Well, and that's the beauty of this environment. And that's what you guys give. And the beautiful thing is the relationships also that have been built between people in the audience. You know what I mean? Not even just with us, but you guys talking to each other in the chat messages. Because you know, I'm a Virgo. So I'm a tracker of everything. Yeah. And I haven't really talked about this, but last season we had like 12,000 chat messages. 12,000. That's insane, of people chatting and talking and getting to know each other. And you guys just give us the grace to be our ridiculous selves. And you guys educate us and tell us, hey, you know what? That was a little too far.
No, I have to say, you know, on that point, you know, people ask, are we real when we come on this show? And
if they have to ask that,
Nina just brought up a good point here. I unplugged my headphones and Jizzy is loving this. You know, it's something that Nina said to me, and I talked about to you in this green room about this, about coming on the stage, you know, and being who we are and doing this show year after year and episode after episode. You know, Jizzy has to prepare for being on stage and, you know, his adoring fans and stuff like that. And we kind of do the same thing, you know, but we, just like Jizzy, we remain true to who we are and true to our craft and true to what we create, which is what he does when he gets on stage. And I just kind of want to put that correlation on, because when she mentioned how he has to prepare to get in gig mode and get on stage, but he's very true to what he does, and he doesn't stop for his fans until he's off that stage. And that I experienced when he came out to Cocoa Beach with, you know, Quiet Riot and saw him perform. And that's kind of what we do here, is we take Wine and Witchcraft very seriously. And we prepare and we do all the work behind the scenes, and we prepare for this. We have business meetings where we have production meetings behind the scenes, and we gear up because we don't want to come on this stage and be anything less than what we are and give you the best that we can give you. So that's kind of like a big deal to us, that Justin and I prepare for this and treat it the way it should be treated, like a family, like a community. And that's very, very, you know, important to us. So I just kind of want to address that, because she brought up a good point in, you know, being married to a rock star. So it's kind of the same thing, where we treat it very much like our fans of this show are number one, first and foremost, to give our craft that life that it deserves. And we treat it that
way. You know, and Anthony, we have to give props to Anthony and Rachel, because
our spouses.
You know, yes, we get in this green room an hour, 45 minutes even before the show. And we talk about, you know, what are the things we want to hit on? What are some jokes we could say? Where do we want to go? And that's the thing, you know, are we ourselves? Absolutely.
Yes.
But when you get on the stage, and that's the thing, you know, whether it's 10 people or 1,000 people, you want to give people your all when you're doing something like this, right? So you want to have that time to just like clear your mind and prepare and think about how the show is going to go. And we have to give props to the spouses. Like, shout out to Rachel, shout out to Anthony, because, you know, it has to also, I'm just going to be real. Like, yes, 30, 40 people to some people probably doesn't seem like much, but we do take the time to put our energy into the show. And that's because we care about you guys, and you guys show us the love. And like, how shitty would it be for you guys to show up and us just be like, okay, we're here, and look around like we don't have a fucking clue,
and they've moderated for us when shit has, you know, hit the fan, and we get people in the show that are not here for the show. You know, our husband or our wife steps in, you know, as moderators to help drive that show. But there are times where, and I know, you know, anybody who has a supportive wife or husband can agree that you feel like, I don't feel like doing the thing. And that encouragement from the spouse goes, but it's the thing. Like, it's the thing that people want to see. They come to your show for a reason. Like, you are that thing. You have to do the thing. And it pumps you up to be like, yeah, I'm going to do the thing, you know, and you start doing the hair and you start doing the makeup, and you know, it's hard to explain. It's like that push, that support system behind you, you know, of the wife or the husband that says, like, you know, that cheering crowd, like, you know, my husband Wine and Witchcraft to the point where I have a license plate in the front of my car that says Wine and Witchcraft. My car is a Wine and Witchcraft car. You know, anywhere I drive that car, he had a specialty plate made for the front of my car that says Wine and Witchcraft. You know, so it's that support system behind, where Rachel's got, you know, the controls, and Anthony's got the controls, and they're, you know, moderating the show, and they're here every single episode. So we have to give to our spouses that support us for this crazy ass show idea that we had that has become huge over the past 4 years in this community.
Yeah, because I mean, they, you know, when you think about Anthony and Rachel, they put their time on hold time with the kids, sleeping, relaxing, whatever, to be in the show, to help drive conversation. Anthony and Rachel both doing that. So we have to give props to them for, like, it's not easy to always put somebody else on a pedestal. And Brittany and I require a lot of attention. And, we have a lot of things going on. So it's not always easy. So if you guys want to put hearts in the chat for Anthony and for Rachel, we would greatly appreciate that, just to show them some love.
Because they are part of the team. They are part of the team that drive us to this show. But, it's, and Mr. T brings the jokes in the sports talk. Yeah, he does. He'll play on something I say or play on something, Justin says, and create a whole thing. My husband is, when my husband was in high school and even middle school, when I first met him in 6th grade, yes, I've met Anthony in 6th grade. He was my 6th grade homeroom class. He was dubbed Captain Inappropriate. That is what his friends called him, was Captain Inappropriate, because he said the most inappropriate things at the most inappropriate times. As a matter of fact, when I met him as a 6th grade individual, he was the one that was always in detention and always in trouble by the teacher because he was talking or making farting noises when he wasn't supposed to. He's a class clown. That was my husband. And at the time in 6th grade, I fucking couldn't stand him. But here I am married to him. So,
right.
It's one of those things where I remember saying, like, oh my God, he's so fucking annoying. Why does he keep on farting during silent time? But yeah, he was always the one that was in trouble. And now he's the one that saves my ass 9 times out of 10.
Yes.
It's crazy. And same thing with Rachel. Rachel has supported you through transitions, through different spiritual practices, through giving up, through going ahead, through all the things that you do. With that woman is a fucking rock. Because, I'm also friends with Rachel, and, the things that she deals with and the things that she has to deal with as far as her disabilities, like, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about her as an individual. Like, she is a trooper. She has dealt with so many issues and pulled through and be like, no, fuck, I'm not going to let this defeat me. No, fuck you, and she's inspiring in of her own self, regardless of anything else, to be the mom that she is and to be the supporter that she is. She's fucking amazing. And I fucking love her for it. So
yes, that's the thing. It takes a team, and to have spouses. And someone put on Facebook today, and it really kind of spoke to me, is this: having the support of your spouse can literally change your life. And like, I honestly think about it, like, how many spouses would support every other Saturday you're gone?
Yeah.
For 4 hours of the day. You're not dealing with
that. Let's look at military spouses. I was a military spouse before I met Anthony. Yes. He was gone throughout, after the Twin Towers went down. My husband was gone to war for most of the time. So military spouses that just send their husbands off to war. Bye, see ya. I don't know if I'll ever see you again. There's the military spouses, okay, that are just as much of the military as anybody else. Then you have, and I have to bring it up, is the rock star spouses.
Yeah.
Look at Nina. Freaking Jizzy leaves like every week or every other week, constantly on the road, making a living, doing his thing, supporting his fans. That's what he does. That's his job. And she sits there and says, I love you, babe. That is fucking amazing. So you got to give it to the military spouses, the rock and roll spouses, the pop star spouses. I don't care what kind of music you do, or what kind of Army, United States Air Force, Coast Guard. I don't care what you are. If you have to say goodbye to your husband or wife for a long period of time, I give it to you. Anthony will leave for 4 or 5 days at a time to go to another branch of his fence company. And I'm like, okay, bye. And I can never imagine doing that all the time. So I have to give complete props to the rock star wives, the military wives and husbands out there, and the, content creator husbands and wives out there that have to give their spouses away for a period of time and take care of the family, because that's a sacrifice. And
it is, like making the content, doing the live shows, production, and like doing the podcast and everything, and being able to say, you know what, I'm going to support you. That's not easy. I don't know that I could do that. I'm just going to be straightforward. I don't know that I could do that in that way.
No.
So we have to give support to the spouses.
To the spouses
who support the venture. You know, that Anthony and Rachel are just as much a part of the Wine Witchcraft brand as you and I and Owlvine and her husband and her kids, who, you know, make the means to give her up, to give us up for those times to make the content.
How many times has Rachel said to you, because I know Anthony has said it to me, how many times has Rachel said to you, when's the last time you made a video? Why haven't you made a channel? You know how many times Anthony has said to me, when's the last time you made a video? You haven't made a video in a month. What's wrong with you? You fucking lazy? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go make a video. Bye. You know, like, you know, and it's one of those things where it's like, you know, they keep you on your toes. And yes, it's true. I have not made a video in about a month. I'm a fucking lazy ass bitch. Look, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. But they get on your ass and go, you're a content creator, bitch. Where's your fucking video? You know?
Right. Exactly. So we just, you know, I don't think we've said it enough over the past 4 years. I really don't think we have, but I just, we have to give props to Rachel and Anthony and to Sean. Hopefully Owlvine's okay with me saying that, but we have to give them props. There's 3 people that give up time and energy, family time, dinner times for us to do this. So we can't pretend like it's just us, because it's not just us. There's other people behind the scenes that sacrifice for that. So we have to acknowledge that.
Absolutely, because they're the kind of people behind the scenes that keep us running. I also want to mention Nina. Jizzy has been home for a day, but working on a new YouTube video. You should see that very soon. So those of you who are under a rock or living in fucking Netherlands, Nina's husband is Jizzy Pearl, that of Love Hate, Data Clan, if you want to go way back, and Quiet Riot. And he has an amazing fucking YouTube channel that I binge watched when she told me about it a little bit later in our friendship, ma'am. But when she told me about it, I binge watched that shit. I poured a glass of wine and I binge watched that shit for hours. It's good. It's very funny. It's very true. It's very real. And it's just good. So please, Nina, can you put his YouTube channel in the chat, or at least his screen name in the chat so people can find it? If you are anybody who's intelligent, you'll watch Jizzy Pearl's channel, because it's just fucking good. He's got a new video coming out soon. I got notified of it. I think it's going to be out tomorrow. He's just awesome. I actually have his book that I'm halfway through that is so fucking funny that I sit there and laugh out loud. It's just good. So J Pearl TV, tune in, watch it, subscribe. It's fucking good. Like, it's just, it's good comedy. It's good real life fucking comedy. So,
and I do want to say this too. Like, I have to mention this. So, like, the Dream Panel. Oh my god,
the Dream Panel.
The Dream Panel. The Demon Panel is on Rachel's birthday. December 2nd is Rachel's birthday. If everyone wants
Dad's birthday, which is really funny. That's how I remember.
Yes, type in happy birthday to Rachel if you guys feel inclined. Please do. Just give her a little birthday shout out early. I was like, you know, she's like, that's not my birthday. I said, well, you know, I can see if Owlvine can fill in for me for the Demon Panel, you know, and she's like, no, that's the night of the show. You need to do the show. And that's just a perfect example of what we've been talking about. You know, she's like, no, that's the night of the show. You need to do the show. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, Owlvine can fill in for me. It's not, you know, it's not a big deal. And she's like, no, that's the night of the show. December 2nd is the Demon Panel. You guys have been talking about it. You need to be there. So that's just, again, another example of how Anthony and Rachel both give so much. And
Yeah,
I know
they do.
we've been talking about it for like 15, 20 minutes, but 4 years of doing this is not easy, especially when we move to every other weekend, every other Sunday, every other Monday, every other Saturday. Like, that's a lot of family time. So we cannot say it enough. Like, thank you to Rachel and Anthony. Like, seriously.
Yeah, and I hope all you military spouses or moms or dads or wives, whatever out there, you thank that person that's sacrificed. And same thing with you guys who out there in the public eye that have sacrificed time with your family. Remember how much, because it's like the song "Dust in the Wind." We're all just dust in the wind, right? So
right.
You never know when your time is up and you're just dust in the wind. So make sure you always thank that person that is stuck by you, whether it be your spouse or your son or your daughter, whatever it may be, for being your cheerleader, because that's amazing in life. I mean, that's all we ask for, right? I know this has gotten off of like witchcraft and gone into the sentimental moment, but every now and then you have to have those moments where we make sure that everybody knows how much they mean. It's very important.
Right. You don't want the moment to pass and that person not understand how important they are and how pivotal they are in your own success. It's important. It's very, very important.
Yep.
Okay. We are. Oh, Rachel, she said, thanks, babe. Okay, we are 2 hours. Oh my God, what an episode. 2 hours.
Yeah, this was crazy, but every now and then we go over because you guys are so fucking amazing.
Yes, like we've talked about poop, we've been sentimental, we've talked about hexing, we've talked about what an episode this has been.
Bitch.
Right? You guys are just amazing, and I'm in my emotions, and it's probably because I've had a full bottle of wine, but we are just so grateful for you guys. And I don't know that you guys can truly understand this little family, this little crazy town that you guys have helped create.
Town. That's exactly what has happened. It's a crazy town,
and I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah.
And Brittany and I were talking about this in the green room. It's just like, God, there's some times there's just like, okay, Wine Witchcraft. And then we go live and it's just like, God, this is exactly what I needed. This is exactly what I needed to just, I'm going to be honest. And Brittany has said this to me. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, the show's done. Okay, just get to the next weekend of Wine and Witchcraft. Just get there. Okay, here it is. We're here. Because sometimes you just need to drink and let your hair down and just have some fun.
Because the week leading up to the Wine and Witchcraft show, I'm always like, okay, what day is it? Oh shit, it's only Wednesday. Okay. What day is it? Oh, it's Friday. Okay, well, tomorrow. Okay, go to bed tomorrow. I'm like, oh, it's Wine and Witchcraft Day. And then we're talking about the show all throughout the day on our chat. It's the kind of like one of those things. Yes.
I have to go to the airport.
Oh, my husband's going to the airport to pick up his brother. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving time. My family's, it's one thing we didn't get to talk about. My family's coming in town, or, my family from Boston, or Anthony's family from Boston. So he's going to the airport to pick up the Bostonians. I hope they don't get, entangled with the poop man over the opossum on I-4.
Right.
But, never know in Florida,
You never know what's going to happen.
Know.
I'm sure I'm going to go downstairs and Rachel's going to be like, let's eat. Let's watch Modern Family because I need to soak up some of this alcohol. So
honey, I'm going to go watch The Highlander where hot as fuck Adrian Paul takes off heads.
Honey, I'm gonna be eating food so I can have sex later. That's what I'm doing.
That's a good idea. I want sex later.
Well, talk to Anthony. Don't talk to me about that.
Well, honey, you're my brother.
We're in the South, honey, but we're not into incest.
So I'm not gonna get sex later because he's at the airport. I want sex.
What time is he gonna be home?
Oh, it's 11:14. So yeah, shit, I might be asleep by then. He'll probably get home about 11:45.
Oh God.
I want sex. Fuck this shit, motherfucker.
Well, Rachel, every time when like sometimes after the show I'm tired, so I'm like I go to bed and she's like, seriously?
No,
It's one
Anthony does the same shit. Anthony's like, whoa, it's Wine Witchcraft night. Where is come on? And I'm like, oh well, you know, I'm kind of tired now. He's like, it's Wine Witchcraft night. It's time for dingle dingle. And I'm like,
literally, Rachel's like, I'm getting on top, and I'm like, perfect. I'll just lay here. You get what you need to get.
Yep, that's exactly how it is.
Like, just lay down, just lay back, and I'm like, okay.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like all ready to go, but he's not fucking here. He's leaving for the fucking airport. What the fuck, man, motherfucker! I forgot that he was coming in from. Oh my god, he's coming in from Boston for Thanksgiving. I forgot. Why is he leaving at 11:15 at night for the fucking airport? His plane don't land till 12. What the fuck?
I don't know. You need to attend to the spouses.
Look,
they are very clear about that.
Red Bull. I'm gonna have to have a Red Bull to keep myself awake because I need sexy time.
Well, and Rachel said that. She's like, so let me guess. You're going to go to sleep after? I said, no, I already have an energy drink waiting. I'll eat food. I'll drink energy.
There we go.
My heart may explode, but as long as the penis stays hard, I guess it'll be fine.
That's all that matters. Fuck, I didn't even think about that whole entire situation because we normally end the show at 10:30, so I could have gotten the push, and then he could have gone to the airport. But since we extended the show, motherfucking bullshit, fucking wine and witchcraft.
I know. Rachel said, "Wake up, sex." Exactly.
I don't like wake up sex though because you're kind of all groggy and you're not as like it's not as fun. I don't like wake up. Well, I mean, wake up sex is okay, but
Rachel loves wake up sex. What are you talking about?
Because you're kind of like the person wakes you up and you're kind of like, okay, here you go. You know, I want to be all like, you know, like into it. I don't want to be like half asleep with like one eye open. Okay, how many of you go to the bathroom with one eye open? I know I do in the middle of the night. I'm like,
okay, speaking of which, there are times when I'm not awake when I have to pee and I know I'm not going to make it into the toilet. So I literally just pee in the tub.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit.
I swear, Rachel can verify this. I will piss in the tub, but she gets mad at me. She'll be like, okay, if you're going to piss in the tub, at least turn on the water and rinse it out. And I was like, I can't aim into a toilet bowl. What makes you think I can bend over and rinse out the fucking tub? And she was like,
I've been to your house on multiple occasions. Which bathroom are you talking about?
The bathroom in my bedroom.
Okay, I've been there. How come? Okay, the toilet is here and the shower is here. How come you can't make it to the? I'm confused.
Because I'm scared I'm gonna piss all over the floor because I've done that before. Where I'm just like,
okay,
and I just like pull my shorts to the side, let the junk hang out. I'm doing it right now. You can't see it on camera because we'd be canceled. But I pull my shorts to the side and just let it rip. And then Rachel will be like, "Fuck! I sat on your piss." Or Penelope likes to barge in our door in the morning and pee, and she'd be like, why is the toilet seat all wet? Daddy was drunk, okay? I peed all over the seat. Give me a fucking break.
See, Anthony doesn't have that problem because the weird thing is when I get up in the middle of the night to go pee, like I'm not even kidding you, I do one of these. I literally have one eye closed and one eye open. And I make it there, but because I'm a girl, I can just plop. But I have to say, women that are married to men, which you know, most of us are, they leave the goddamn toilet seat up. So what happens is if I'm like this and I'm going taking a piss, I don't even check for the toilet seat. I fucking fall in that motherfucker because the toilet seat's missing. So all we ask is that you put the goddamn shit down so that when we sit half fucking asleep, we don't fall in the toilet and take a piss. Because that shit's fucking annoying.
Well, Jennifer, the thing is you do the rollover. That's what Rachel does in the morning.
What's the rollover?
So you flick the bean, you do a little finger action, you know, you have to have some foreplay, warm up the puss.
Yeah.
And then you just roll them over. You do like a spooning thing from the side.
Okay, I'm following. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that way there's no morning breath situation going on.
Because you're facing the opposite way.
Correct.
I can't do that. You know why I can't do that?
Why?
Because my booty is too big. I shit you not. I swear to God, my butt cheeks are so big you can't go from the side.
Well, Rachel doesn't have a booty. So that's not an
You're
issue. for me.
easy. I can't do that. I can't do that. I have to do everything else works, position wise, but I can't go from the back because my ass is too big. It's true story. I mean, I honestly would rather have a booty. I mean, it's not like nasty. It's a booty. It's voluptuous. I'd rather have a booty than no booty, to be honest, but I can't go from the ankle doesn't work.
Yeah, so that's what we do in the wake and bake situation.
Well, you're fucking lucky. I don't get that that luck. So now it's what, 11? How does this plane land this fucking early? This plane wasn't due to land till like 11:45. What the fuck? Were they going with the jet stream from Boston or something? What the fuck
I
is
don't
that?
know. You need to speak to Anthony about that. I have no idea.
It means I'm gonna have to end this show and fucking stay awake for another half an hour just for some.
Do what you gotta do.
You
have to show your appreciation. Do your duty.
Yeah, well, it's not my duty. I mean, I want it, so I'm gonna get it. Whatever I want, I get, motherfucker. Okay, well, this has been a great show. Now
it has.
I'm frustrated. We have our own bathrooms. You have your own bathrooms?
I don't have that situation.
Even in the new house, I don't have my own bathroom. Oh my God, you guys are so lucky. What kind of apartment complex is that? I want my own goddamn bathroom. Jizzy says I have to watch a movie now. I love you. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Jesus, I want my own bathroom. How did you guys get your own bathroom situation? I want that.
Fuck.
I've never been in an apartment complex that gives me my own goddamn bathroom.
Me neither.
All right. Well, it's been an awesome time, guys. We are a whole hour over, but you know what? I love you, and it's been awesome. So we will see you. When's the next episode, Justin?
Oh God. Let me check. The next episode is December 2nd, Rachel's birthday. Wish her a happy birthday again.
Also my daddy's birthday.
Right. And December 2nd, we will have a demon panel. We're going to have a Radia. We're also going to have somebody else on. We're still working out the details on that. But we are going to talk all about demons, working with demons, introducing demons, we're just going to get into it. It's something that you guys have been asking for, so we're going to tackle the topic. And that's what
I'm so excited about the demon panel.
Me too.
So about it. It's going to be, because I know nothing. I'm nothing. And I'm so excited about it. Can't wait. As always, follow us on all platforms because there will be announcements to help you guys remember. And we'll see you on Rachel's birthday. Yes, we will. And until December 2nd, you guys have a good night. We're wishing you well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can also check out Traversing the Darkness podcast on all platforms, including YouTube. And we will see you December 2nd. Bye, guys. Bye.